Now, David, I say all this by way of introduction to the real topic today, because I'm told that what I'm to speak about is another important issue of making the most of our country, the issue of water, dams, and giving our farmers a fair go. And I understand from my conversations with your convener, Professor Flint, that later today he'll be alluding to Section 100 of the Constitution. But I actually have an even higher authority than the Constitution. It's in fact the Holy Bible, which was given to me on the day I first became a minister in the Howard government. And of course, this is the Bible that I was sworn in on quite a number of occasions in the Howard government. And I'm looking at chapter 1 of Genesis, verse 28. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it. Now, our job is to make the most of this wonderful world that we have. And why shouldn't that mean putting a dam across a river so that we have water, not just while the river runs, but all the time? Why shouldn't we put a dam across a suitable river in a suitable place so that farmers don't just have to rely on the rain, but using God-given ingenuity, God-given intelligence, have water whenever they need it. Now, I regret that notwithstanding my constant assaults on what I described as the dam phobia, which has afflicted our country for the best part of 4 decades, we have not yet built any major new dams. I am pleased that my government was able to put some $100 million into new dam building in Tasmania. I'm pleased that one of the last things that Barnaby Joyce did as Deputy Prime Minister was to announce a major Commonwealth commitment to the new Rookwood Weir behind Rockhampton. So things are changing. They are changing slowly, but for change to go beyond good intentions into better actions, what we need is to make sure that the culture shifts away from the kind of green obsessions that we have had for too long. At the federal level, the Prime Minister or the Minister can say, yes, let's get cracking. But as all of you with experience of government know, land use decisions are normally matters for the state government. There are often local government considerations as well. All too often in remote Australia, there are Indigenous issues, there are various federal and state environmental legislations that need to be considered. So making it happen requires not just support from one level of government, it requires support from all levels of government and from the bureaucracies that administer so much of this legislation. So the answer is for all of us to keep talking all the time about what we expect of all levels of government. And essentially, what we need to do is to keep talking about the sorts of things that everyone wants: prosperous farmers, cheap food, exports of our high quality agricultural products to the emerging markets to our north, and then make the statement of the obvious that this would be so much easier if we had more available water, because water is wealth and you can't grow anything without it. And if we keep focusing on that, eventually we'll get the changes that we need. Now, I'm going to sit down now and hand over to my friend and colleague, Alan Jones. But let me say before I do, that the Australian people have no better advocate than Alan Jones.